What does platform agnostic and platform opinionated mean, and why does that matter to you as an e-commerce merchant or brand? Coalition is really proud of the fact that we are platform agnostic and platform opinionated. A lot of e-commerce agencies are not platform agnostic. They are bought and sold by a particular e-commerce platform. They garner significant commissions and a significant portion of their leads from that e-commerce platform in exchange for their commitment to only recommend that e-commerce platform to you as a merchant. This is why our platform agnosticism is really, really critical. Coalition is also platform opinionated. We have an opinion about which e-commerce platform is best and which is advantageous for you. Over 16 years, in fact, and we run our own e-commerce stores. That'll be a big advantage to you in your process of designing, developing, marketing, and maintaining your e-commerce store. Why are businesses still using Adobe Magento? And is Adobe Magento still viable for anybody? Because of the volume of technical debt that they've accrued around the platform. Unwind that on a different e-commerce platform without a massive project. A lot of these brands will go through a scoping process with different e-commerce platforms every couple of years and just find that they're not fully satisfied with what they discover is available to them with those other platforms. There is a mindset that says, we've done it this way, so we have to keep doing it this way. And that can be a real trap for Adobe Magento store owners and brands. The other place where we see Adobe Magento still winning some deals is because of that option to customize. As Shopify, BigCommerce, and other platforms we work with frequently may not allow for a in-software experience that really supports some of the business requirements of our more complicated merchants. And as a result, they really have to look at Adobe Magento if they are a scaled brand. WooCommerce can be viable for smaller companies, but often isn't going to do the work that's necessary for a larger brand that has a more rigorous set of requirements and evaluations. Shopify and BigCommerce are both very flexible, but that flexibility is typically appended to app usage or to sort of a bit of a kludgy, a repurposing of some functionality to make it work. With Adobe Magento, there is a lot of apps, but there's also the ability to customize in a way that you just don't have with Shopify or BigCommerce. I'm really careful to say that's a good reason to choose a platform because a lot of times you customize yourself into a trap. When do we recommend Shopify over other e-commerce platforms? Shopify is often going to be a very safe and high confidence bet for the team at Coalition. That's not always the case, but most of the time we're going to find that we can recommend Shopify without any reservations if you are in that space. Shopify is also an extremely strong business to connect your business to. Between Shop Pay and Shopify's domination in the e-commerce market space, it's going to be around for a long time. If you're in a B2C category, you're focusing on consumers instead of other businesses, that's also going to point us in the direction of Shopify. If you're mostly focused on a domestic US and Canada market, also a strong place for us to recommend Shopify. We get some reservations recommending Shopify internationally, given some of the complexities around shipment, payment, and taxes, which Shopify maybe is not as robustly developed to support as some other e-commerce platforms. Brands that do a lot of marketing through Meta, Facebook or Instagram, through TikTok, and through Amazon, we're often going to look at Shopify as a really good platform for you to engage with. Finally, if you need something that's really easy to use, need the ability to have a relatively novice team work to support, Shopify can be very, very handy for that. If you're running an e-commerce brand and you are highly content-driven, WooCommerce could be the right choice for you. Some of our clients are very content-forward. They do a lot of long-form write-ups, product comparisons, product research type articles, or they really spend the time to sort of develop a very intensive content-focused sales process around their e-commerce experiences. This sometimes happens with courses. This sometimes happens with products that are a little bit more technical than your typical product. As a result of that, WooCommerce could be the right choice. The other place where WooCommerce can be very beneficial is if you are in a highly restricted or regulated category. Over the years, we've worked with merchants at a lot of these. When CBD first became legal in some states, but not in others, many platforms did not want to work with merchants like that, and WooCommerce was a welcoming home. And WooCommerce, because it's open source, allows you to create a store to sell those products. BigCommerce is one of the leading competitors to Shopify for most e-commerce businesses. First, if someone is in a B2B category, almost always we're going to begin our evaluation by looking at whether or not BigCommerce is the right fit for them. However, if you are really running a higher complexity B2B store with lots of different payment terms, restrictions on who can see what products and marketing materials, who can buy what products and marketing materials, what the checkout options are, what the ordering options are, who has access to orders and quotes, all of that sort of stuff. Again, you're in that sort of true B2B complexity. BigCommerce is often a really great place to begin your platform evaluation. If you have a very complex audience, if you have very complicated checkout requirements, payment terms, shipping rules, product catalog, a lot of times BigCommerce and its open SaaS philosophy is going to be advantageous for you if you're in a semi-regulated or restricted industry. So you're selling a product which there are government rules around, but maybe they're not onerous rules. BigCommerce is often going to be a safer bet for you than Shopify. Those are our big reasons for choosing BigCommerce and recommending BigCommerce in most instances. Why do we not recommend Salesforce Commerce as an e-commerce solution for our merchants? Why are we not actively pursuing it as a platform that we would use at Coalition? And the answer is pretty simple. It's just not worth the money. It's not competitive. It's not really relevant in a modern e-commerce evaluation. The only time I see brands really using Salesforce Commerce is if they're already committed to expensive Salesforce licenses. Often a Salesforce Commerce project is going to cost many times over what it should have on a different platform. We do some maintenance work and we do a lot of marketing work around the platform. But again, because we are trying to be an advocate for our brands, we just can't in good faith recommend Salesforce Commerce for a lot of our customers. I hope that helps you understand how we pick platforms here at Coalition and how we choose what to recommend for you.